Hey guys, how's it going? It's Target here. Welcome back to the second episode of the Toronto Maple Leafs Be a GM. So, I gave you guys the opportunity to voice your opinion on what we should be doing with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I gotta say, I got an absolutely overwhelming response from you guys. Absolutely fantastic. I can't ask for enough from you guys. Unbelievable. There's tons of good options in there. Now, there were a lot of people who were indifferent, and there were a couple people who felt really strongly about it. And that was the rebuild. It seems definitely to be a touchy sub. Oh, what am I doing? Actually, you know what? I better do this now. Do it now. Set myself too busy. There we go. To the rebuild and whether we should do it or not. Okay. Some people said don't do it. Please don't do the rebuild with the Toronto Maple Leafs because we're really close as it is. And you know what? I can definitely see that. I can definitely see where your arguments lie. Now, having said that, I think that I do need to make some changes. And that would be, we need to accept that we're not going to be a Stanley Cup team this year. So what I'm going to do, and somebody made a good suggestion, I thought about it before as well, is we're going to do kind of an active rebuild. So in the process of currently having a great team, we're going to be working on getting a better team for the future without sacrificing too much. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to analyze where we need to add, picks. Where we need to make get good players in there in that spot, and what kind of a future we're going to have with this team. Now that also means sacrificing one of our players, and the one player who's probably on the outs at this point is Dion Phaneuf. Nothing against Dion Phaneuf, but I think that I need to make a sacrifice at defense this year. Sacrifice defense, like I said, we're not going to be a Stanley Cup winning team. Dion Phaneuf is basically a star among, a man amongst boys at this point on this defensive core. I'd like to make a trade. I'd like to trade Dion Phaneuf, and I'd like to pick up a center. That's my big thing. I need a first-line center or a second-line center that has, 4.5-star potential. And we want to get him before he gets too good. We want to have him now. I don't want to be waiting for a center to come through the pipes, okay? So I have an idea of players that I'm going to be targeting in the draft. I have an idea of players that I want here. And one of the ones, I didn't even think about it when I suggested it. But that was the trade with Dion Phaneuf to get the center. Okay? Does anyone remember who it was? I'll show you. It was the Boston Bruins. And it's kind of funny because I didn't think about it. But Tyler Seguin and the Toronto Maple Leafs, for those of you that don't know, have a very storied history together, to say the least. Phil Kessel was traded from the Boston Bruins to the Toronto Maple Leafs for a first-round pick in 2010, which ended up being Tyler Seguin, a second-round pick in 2011, which ended up being Jared Knight, if I'm not mistaken, and a first-round pick in 2012, which ended up being Dougie Hamilton. So what if we were to throw Dougie Hamilton on here as well, because he's a 4.5-star defenseman, two-way defenseman. He could play in there right now. He'd be a nice addition to the team. But they don't want to get rid of these guys, and that's a lot of value to be giving up. So I don't think that I necessarily want to do that now. I've got two solid defensemen already on their way up. So Dougie Hamilton for now is just out. It's just a pipe dream. But Dion Phaneuf will be the one I'd be trading. Dion Phaneuf for Tyler Seguin. And I think that was the more popular of the trades, was Dion Phaneuf for Seguin. A couple of people said Nugent Hopkins, but I think Seguin might be. I've done the Oilers, and I've done that, but I've never done with Tyler Seguin. So I'd like to give him a shot and see how he turns out, because his passing's pretty good. It's not as good as Nugent Hopkins. In fact, we'll take a look at that right now. And the other thing that held us back was that Edmonton doesn't want Dion Phaneuf. But Nugent Hopkins is, okay face-offs, not nearly as good, but his passing is much higher at 90-90. Passing and puck control at 90. And then offensive awareness at 90. So those are really good attributes to have. And Nugent Hopkins, I always love having him. He always gets really good for the most part. Sometimes he struggles. But I think that maybe it might be time to try somebody other than an Edmonton Oiler. So let's do the Boston Bruins. Let's do Tyler Seguin, guys. I think this is a trade that needs to go through in order for us to really make a difference. Dion Phaneuf is a great player. He's a great captain. But he's just not part of the future. Now, can we pick up anything else for this? Let's try picking up the first. Now, for those of you who've never done a Be a GM before, this first year is crucial. You need to be making trades for first-round picks all over the place, okay? There's no time to be messing around. You need to get as many first-round picks as you can with the players that you have available. So, let's try and make a trade for Dion Phaneuf to the Boston Bruins for Tyler Seguin and a first-round pick. If the first doesn't go through, we'll try something else. If that still doesn't go through, we'll try again something else. But we have poor reputation with Boston as well. We have to keep that in mind. So let's see if this goes through. If we cannot swing a Seguin deal, maybe we can swing a Nugent Hopkins deal. A 1-for-1 trade might be appropriate there just because neither team really wants him. You know what I mean? All right. Let's see if this goes through. No. We're way off. You haven't met our block needs. Okay, so the first round pick is out of the question. But seconds, as you guys know, are high value in this. Like, you can get into the fourth round, high fourth round, and still get 3.5-star players who are fantastic depth. So let's see if this goes through. Tyler Seguin in a second for Dion Phaneuf. No, that won't go through. It has to be sweetened just a touch. So what? I don't want to lose that second. What if we give them? Let's give them a fifth. Because you don't really get the 3.5-star players in the 5th round. It's guaranteed to all of them to be gone by then. Let's see. Well, they don't want it. Well, let's see if this goes through. That won't go through. Okay, so let's take the 5th off, and let's just ask for a 3rd, because you can still get 3.5-star players there. You might even get a 4-star player in the 3rd round. See if this goes through. No, it still will not go through. Okay, then let me try getting a 4th. And a 5th from them and see if that goes through. Seguin, a 4th and a 5th for Dion Phaneuf. Rep can't get much worse. We're just really ruining things here. No. Okay, let's take the 5th off. Just go 4th. Nope. Let's try just a straight trade. Dion Phaneuf for Tyler Seguin. I don't know why this affects you so much. Like, the value is quite a bit different. But, you know what? We might have to make sacrifices. Will this go through? That still will not go through. Okay, so Boston, I'm sorry, guys. It's out of the question. We're going to go to Edmonton and see if we can't pick up Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Now, because the trade value is so close and they don't want to lose Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, let's see if this goes through. Dion Phaneuf for RNH. Here we go. And that goes through. I am happy to accept this proposal on behalf of the Edmonton Oilers. We consider it a done deal. I think in the future that's going to pay off for us a lot better. And we just built a good trading block for us. So, we're going to take a look now at our current roster situation. Oops, not GM options. I'm all confused. Coaching options. Edit lines. Okay, so we do it like this and you'd go up to the first line. Lupo will play the second line. Kadri will play the third line. Grabovski will play here. That's how it'll look right now. Okay, so we still have cap space. So this is where we don't really need to get rid of Grabovski right now, but I think we might want to anyway. He's a second-line sniper with good face-offs, but I don't know. We need to bolster. I want to trade Grabovski if he's got any trade value. Grabovski to somebody for a 4th-line player, like a 4th-line grinder, and maybe a 2nd-round pick. Okay, so that's what we're going to try and do here. So that's where we need to address. So let's go try and get rid of Grabovski now. Offensive, defensive. And we're going to need to pick up... Oh, I need to go to roster moves. Hold on. Where's D? Who's our next best defenseman? Ryan O'Byrne. Depth defenseman. No potential. No potential. Crappy potential. Okay. So let's just bring up Ryan O'Byrne for now. Let's back up here. Back up here. Okay, so we're not going to fidget around too much. So we're going to try trade Mikhail Grabovski for a 4th-line player. So let's see who wants Mikhail Grabovski. Now, I know a lot of players, people were, you know, kind of understanding of trading Mikhail Grabovski just because he's just got such a high cap. But I'm wondering that's going to probably bring his value down. Okay, Grabovski's not going to give us much back. Anaheim, we have a great relationship. Maybe Anaheim. Let's see what we can get back from Anaheim. Let's just 5.5. My goodness. Now, who's a player I always like to get? Bolesky. You guys know I like Bolesky. Matt Bolesky, but he's 75 overall grinder. You know what? No, I'm not going to risk on Matt Bolesky this time. Who do they want to get rid of? They want to get rid of just like old guys, and I don't really want that. No, let's take a look here. No. No, Carolina doesn't want him. Chicago has a good rep. Ooh, and they want to get a Ooh, Andrew Shaw. Andrew Shaw might be a good option for us. Oh, he's only 71 over grinder. Ugh. Why is he rated so low? He had a pretty good playoff year, I thought. Do they have anybody that's currently LeBlanc? No, they don't have anybody. Let's sort by stars. We're looking for like a 3-star player. Puri. Oh, never mind. Well, I guess we're looking for a 3.5-star player. Yeah, like Brian Bickle. Ooh, he's not even that great. Power forward, 75 overall. Brian Bickle's not that great. Nicoletti, Brandon Saad. He's a little bit more in that range that we'd like, but again, they don't want to get rid of him. So let's move along here. Colorado. Do they want to get rid of anybody? Milan Hajduk. I don't know that I want to get rid of him. Yeah, I don't want Milan Hajduk. 78 overall sniper. He's not much of an increase on Joe Colburn. Columbus. They look like they want to get rid of some... Yeah, Vinny Prospel. 80 overall playmaker. He's got no value. He's an increase. He could play the fourth line, I guess, but I'd rather have him on the third line as a playmaker. But there's nobody really I want to make to play the fourth that we currently have. I'd like a grinder, or I'd even take a tough guy at this point. Whitney, he's a playmaker, is he not? Yeah, no. Sorry, Ray Whitney. Even though you're an Edmonton boy, and I gotta support that. DeKaiser, have they given him? Oh, have they given DeKaiser any of an upgrade yet? Where are you, DeKaiser? Here you are. Have they given him an upgrade? Is he still... He's a 3.5-star offensive defenseman? I thought he's a defensive defenseman. I could be wrong on that, but I was pretty sure he was a defensive defenseman. Skater's giving away. Who's the highest rated skater they're giving away? We got DeKaiser and Anderson, so nobody here really that fits the bill that we're looking for. Edmonton again, Ryan Smith. Do we want to gamble on Ryan Smith? No, I don't think so. Florida. Who are you guys getting rid of? Philip Kuban, Ed Jovanovski? No. Los Angeles. Who are they getting rid of? Oops. Dwight King. They want to get rid of Dwight King. And he is... Oh, he's only a 72 overall grinder. Wow, they really dropped everybody down, eh? Let's see who, the highest rated one is. Probably nobody. Yeah, Dwight King and Muzzin are the only ones. Minnesota. They want to get rid of Nino Niederreiter after I just switched him over. Left wing sniper, 4-star player. Yeah, I mean... Okay. That's funny. I do really want to get a player that, you know, we can use now. Who's got the highest rating for players? None of them have a 3. We need at least a 3.5, 4-star player to play the line. 3-star, no. Nashville. Hal Gill. Big defenseman, Hal Gill is. So 80 overall defensive defenseman. He'd be an increase for us. No, I don't think so there. Let's see here. Who do we got here? They want to get rid of Martin Brodeur, Johan Hedberg, Patrick Eliash, Steve Sullivan, Bryce Salvador. Steve Sullivan, a left wing playmaker. I really don't want to add playmakers to that fourth line. I mean, they're good to have, I guess, but... And Patrick Eliash is not. The Islanders. Who do you want to get? Wisnowski, Reisner, Bolton. No. Rangers. Okay, so they want to get rid of a few players. They want to get rid of Justin Falk, who they just picked up. That's funny. And John Moore. Is that John Moore? Is that right? Yeah, John Moore, offensive defenseman, 4-star player. Good pickup maybe for the future, but not right now that's helping us out. We'll assess that later. Not Ottawa. Philadelphia. Philadelphia. We know that they got the rating for the toughest team. Maybe we can add somebody here that's tough. I see a 3.5-star player they want to get rid of. Ken Huskins. He's a defenseman though. Gus defenseman again. I don't want defenseman. No, not there. So that's not enough for us. Phoenix. Do they have anybody they want to get rid of? Shane Doan. Is he a two-way forward? Power forward. Shane Doan. I know he's 35 years old. What's his cap hit? 5.6. Yeah, he's not an increase at all, and he's got 4 years left. That's okay. Not Pittsburgh. San Jose. They'll take Mikhail Grabovski. Let's see here. 3-star player and Petrecki. No, not San Jose. St. Louis. Let's see what you can do for me, St. Louis. Sorted by... Nope, not there either. My goodness. Nobody wants to get rid of anybody. That's the problem here. Okay, so we've got 4-star players. Sami Salo, Matthias Olin, and Martin St. Louis. 4.5-star player. No, I'm not really willing to gamble on St. Louis for that matter. Vancouver, no. Washington, we're running out of options here. We may end up having to bite the bullet and trade for somebody that they don't want to get rid of. Nope, they're not wanting to get rid of anybody. So, and we're back around again. Team of Solani. I'm not adding a 42-year-old player to the lineup. I'd sooner sit with Grabovski as center than do that. Okay, so I think what we need to do is we need to explore fourth line players. So let's take a look at that. Let's go to the trade block. We might have to make a trade for a player with low value. Whoops. So looking for forward. Let's look for a fourth line forward. We'll put the stars down. We'll put low. We're going to put any age, basically, and see what we come up with. Who's the highest fourth line player? Who's the highest rated? So 77 overall. Sean Couturier. Is he a 4.5 star or just a 4-star? No, terrible face-offs. Not worth it. Sabotka. Two-way forward. No, none of these guys are really increased. So let's take a look at third line checking forwards then. Let's see what we get. We're going to get a little bit higher on this one. And we're looking for basically a low value player. Somebody who's going to be playing the fourth line for a while. Curtis Glencross, Jarrett Stoll. No, Jarrett Stoll's a third line player for sure. Mike Fisher. No, I want to try and get a grinder. Darren Helm. Kennedy. I'll get a grinder or a power forward I'll add to this. Dupuis. David Clarkson, there's a good grinder. We could actually make a trade for David Clarkson, and he could play that fourth line. Not a bad option. Okay, so David Clarkson, we'll keep him in mind. Dan Cleary is in our range. Steve Ott is also in our range, an 80 overall grinder with decent faceoffs. He'd be a good option, too, for our fourth line. Brad Boyes, a sniper, no. Matt Collins, a two-way. Chad LaRose, a grinder. Chad LaRose is another good grinder. 5'10", 181. Good discipline for a grinder, too, absolutely. He'd be a good option, so Chad LaRose. Is his value is even lower than Clarkson, is it not? Yeah, his value is lower than Clarkson. Is Knueble's a power forward? Is he a power forward for Mike Knueble? So no, but his value is really low. What's his age? Oh, he's 40. That's why. Okay, never mind. No, I'm not willing to get anybody like that right now. Hanzus, two-way forward. Brodziak's a grinder with decent face-offs too. And he's a big body, 6'2", 209, solid player. Not as good discipline though. Sean Horkoff, he's got a huge cap hit, even though his faceoffs are great. Bergenheim, two-way forward again. We're getting to the 79 overalls. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is make a trade for David Clarkson. Where are you, David? Well, it's David Clarkson, and then can't get David Clarkson. We'll try Steve Ott. So he's a 2.665 cap. How much is left on his contract? Oops. 1 year. Okay, that's a perfect player to get. So let's try and get Grabovski in here. Do they want him first off? Yep, they do want him. Okay, they'll take Grabovski, and the value is really close, so I don't think we're going to be able to get much out of this. Let's see if we can squeeze a third out of them. There you go. David Clarkson and a third for Mikhail Grabovski, and we'll shore up our fourth line to get a little bit more talent in there. Let's see if this goes through. No, that won't go through. It's way off. So let's try getting our fourth. See if this goes through. No, that won't go through either. I guess a fifth, and what we can do is trade up with it and see if we can package it with something. All right, let's see if that goes through. No, that doesn't work. Okay, so David Clarkson's out then. Let's search again, and let's do the Steve Ott trade. Steve Ott. Steve Ott, where are you? There you are, Steve Ott. And also was Chad LaRose. So if we can't get Steve Ott, we'll go with Chad LaRose. Steve Ott, 2.9. How much? 2 years left on 2.9. Let's take a look at Chad LaRose then. Chad LaRose of the Carolina Hurricanes. Where are you? Where are you, Chad LaRose? Wow, this is really... There he is. Let me see how much is left on his contract. 1 year, 1.7. Wow, that's a way big difference. What a difference. Okay, now do they want Grabovski? Probably not. It doesn't look like they want many players here. They do not want Grabovski. That could be a problem. Let's see if we can squeeze a pick out of them. They do want to get rid of a pick. I'd make this trade any day of the week. Let's see if this goes through. No. Okay, we'll try the fourth because that's what we offered. Yeah, we'll take the 4th back from them. Let's see if this goes through. No, they don't want that either. Okay, so Chad LaRose is out. Trading block. We'll go back in. Steve Ott was the other one, right? But his cat, he had 2 years left. Let me just go back into this. I can't remember who else there was that was a grinder. Because I really do want to add a grinder. I would settle for a power forward, but I want a grinder. Tim Connolly, we're not going to get much for either. Chris Neal, he's a grinder, isn't he? Yeah. 33 overall grinder, 78 overall total. Look at his body checking, though. You know what? Well, his discipline sucks, though. We'll explore it again. We'll take a look at it again. Is Matt Cook? No. Yeah, Matt Cook's a grinder as well. Good body. No, discipline sucks. I'd rather have Chris Neal at that point. Scotty Upshaw, is he a two-way forward? Bergenheim? No. Chimera. Jason Chimera. Better discipline. Good speed. Jason Chimera's a good option for us, I think. Jason Chimera. Ryan Jones I got as a two-way forward, I believe. Yeah, let's take a look at Jason Chimera then. I like that. Let's try Chimera. Okay. So he's got a good cap hit, 1.7. 2 years left. I can handle 1.7 though. And then Grabowski. Yeah, then they'll take Grabowski. They like him. And we can definitely get back a second probably for this, just because of the difference in value. Yeah, we could probably get back a second. Let's see if this goes through. No. Okay, so I'm going to ask for a 3rd and a 4th from Washington. Here we go. Try this. No. Okay, so let's take the 4th off and just ask for the 3rd. Here we go. There we go. We finally got rid of Mikhail Grabowski, and we picked up a third round pick, which isn't bad. Let's take a look now back at our lines. Coaching options. Where are ya? Coaching options. Edit lines. Okay, so we've now got some decent depth at center. I'd like to add maybe a 3rd line. Well, we could keep Nazem Kadri playing the 3rd line, is what we could do, but I don't want to do that. What's Clark? Oh, hold on. What we'll do is this. I want Nazem Kadri. Okay, hold on. I want this. I want Lupul playing here. I want Kadri playing here. And then out of these 3, we'll do this. Who's scratched right now? Tim Connolly is, but Connolly's going to be gone, right? Yeah, we'll probably try to trade Connolly. Honestly, I'll keep Joe Colburn in there. They've got him as a 4th line player. He's not the best. We'll see if we can make a trade for somebody else, but I doubt it. We'll see what happens here. Clark MacArthur, what's your face-offs at? 60. Kuhlman, 65, so that's a bit of an increase. And Jason Chimera, 64. That's not great either. Tyler Bozak is a centerman. So what we'll do is we'll put Tyler Bozak up here. And I'll put Jason Chimera down here. Clark MacArthur is a left winger, right? Yeah, and so is Kuhlman. Yeah, they're both left wingers, but I'd rather have my sniper on the left line. Okay, so there you go. So that's the way it's going to set up for now. We will try to maybe replace Colburn and give him a year in the minors. That's how I like the lines looking. Playmaker, power forward, sniper. That looks good. Two-way forward, sniper, playmaker. A sniper, a playmaker, a two-way forward, power forward, and 2 grinders. Defensive and offensive, offense and two-way, defensive and defensive. Cody Franzen, yeah, we'll keep him there. I'm going to do this, though. And I'll leave like that. I'll leave my Lyles up there. Just to counterbalance that. That looks a little bit better. Okay. So we don't really have the defensive ability right now. Maybe we can pick up a 79 overall defenseman in free agency here. That's an option for us first as well. So we'll take a look here quickly. I'll take a look at free agency. Coaching options. Oops, not coaching options. GM options. Here we go. And then free agency. See who's here. Okay. So we've got a couple players that want 3 years. Paul Ranger and Colin White are our 2 defensive defensemen, 79 overall. I'd like an offensive defenseman. Yeah, I think so. But I may be, a beggar on this one. Paul Mara. They don't really show up very often. There's not really any forwards either that I can add to this. Dominic Moore, 83 faceoffs as a centerman. That's really good as well. I like that. Gilbert Brule. No, I don't want to add Gilbert Brule. Jason Arnott, a power forward, a 3rd line checker. At that point, I'd rather have Joe Colburn in there doing his duty. I'd I think the only player I'd pick up would be Paul Ranger. Now, what would he want for 1 year? $3.38 million. Okay, let's make our trades first, and then we'll take a look at Paul Ranger, okay? Trade negotiations. This is the other thing I'm going to do. Now, we have players on our team, and this is where it's important, guys. What I would suggest doing is sorting by potential, okay? Get the lowest at the bottom here. Players that you're not going to be using ever, you want to try and get rid of them, okay? So all these guys here, they're useless to us. We want to try and package them up in a deal, pick up, maybe get some picks. These players here, we're going to try and get rid of. Brown, Rupert, Holzer, Carrick, Fraser, and Brodeen. They're all going to go because they're 3-star, 2.5-star players that hold only value here because they're not signed to a contract. You see what I mean? That's why their value is so high. They're not signed to a contract. But we need to dish them out, and we need to get picks. We need to get first-round picks. So, I need to keep in mind teams that, let's first take teams that finish last in the league almost every year. Now, one of the ones is always New Jersey. Hopefully, we have a good relationship with them. It's considered poor, but that's okay. Their first-round pick, we're going to be making a push for here, okay? So, no, not like that. We want to sort by stars. Okay, here we go. So, who do they want that's 3.5 star? Okay, so let's do this. We'll give them Carrick. We'll give them Carrick, and we will give them another player that they want. Brodeen. We'll give them those 2 guys. Okay, and then they're going to have to give us something back here. Let's see. Anderson. And Leach. They'd have to give those 2 guys back. This may not go through, though, just because of the value. We'll see. This might go through. We'll try it. All right, let's see if this goes through. And it will. So we got a first-round pick from those 2. Okay, so this is where it gets interesting, too. So New Jersey finishes bad. Colorado's another team that finishes really poorly. So I'm going to take a look at Colorado's first. Ooh, it's got really high value. They don't want to trade it. Okay. I know Boston doesn't do too well, and we could try. Well, we don't want to trade with them. They don't really like us. Basically, what we want to do is look for people that want to get rid of their first. Calgary neutral. They don't want to get rid of it. Carolina. They'll get rid of theirs. See if they're Chicago. Colorado. Columbus. No. Detroit will get rid of theirs. They're really high value. I don't want to trade for that one. It's that high value. LA will get rid of theirs. No. No. Well, yeah, I mean, Nashville's a good option. Nashville always finishes in the bottom. So let's try Nashville's. Okay? So we got 2 picks now in the first. I want to try and get about 5 or 6 picks in the first round. And we want to try and get rid of as many of these players as we can. Let's see here. So Rupert and Brown are players that I'm going to reserve for basically, teams that can't take anybody else. These guys are all in. So maybe this is the time. Well, let me do this. Let me add Holzer. And let me add Fraser. Where are you? Holzer, and let's add Fraser. Okay. And let's see who wants those 2. See if there's anybody that wants those 2. Maybe not even anybody. No one wants them. Okay. So I'm going to add our 2 boys. Rupert. We're going to add Rupert, and we're going to remove Holzer. We're going to find out where we can send Rupert for a pick. Nashville. We'll take him. We'll try and trade straight up for the first because they want to get rid of it. And they want Rupert, apparently. I don't know why. God forbid. I would never take him. Let's see if this goes through. No, they don't want him. Can we dish off anybody else on them? Let's try this again here. Let's see. Broll. Oops, they'll take Broll. So let's send them Broll. Because they'll be able to take a player, I guess. Let's send them Broll, and let's send them Rupert. In exchange for their first. 2 players we're never going to use, right? Because David Broll has, 2.5 stars. So that's a good trade there. I think we'll be able to get this back. Let's see if this goes through. There you go. There's another first for us. Okay, so now we're also going to take a look at our other boy here. Brown. Okay. Who else has a first that they want to get rid of? Phoenix. They want to get rid of their first. It's got a lot of value, though, so we might not be able to get this. We'll see how things go. Whoops, where's our stars? Sort by stars. McClement. Nope. Okay, this is the area we want to be in. Fraser is 1, but they don't want Fraser. So we might just throw these 2 in because nobody wanted them. Okay, so let's try throwing Fraser and Brown in for Phoenix's first. See if that goes through. Probably not, I'm thinking. Oh, and it will go through. So we have another first round pick from the Phoenix Coyotes. Thank you, Phoenix. Okay, and our final player that's here that has no value is anybody? Nobody, really. Fraser, unless we can dish him off for somebody. So no one wants him, so let's look for somebody who's willing to get rid of a... What's his value? It's so low. He's a low second if we can find one. Usually it's going to be a third, though. Oh, Washington. Washington's second is really low, but they can't take this. Let's try getting Volpatti back and see if that helps. That might go through. I doubt it. We'll try. No. Okay, I didn't think so. So what for Fraser? What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually ask for a third. Oh no, I took their third. So let's go somewhere else with it then. Vancouver. Vancouver's second. No, that won't go through. Vancouver's third and a shitty player that they don't want. I can't take Hanny. Let's take Schneider because he's got no years left, right? No years. Oh, he's got 1 year left as a center grinder. Okay, so let's take Schneider off their hands, and that'll balance it out, and that should give it. That third's got some value. Trust me, more value than it does now. And there you go. Okay, so that's a no-brainer for them, which is totally fine for me. The other player we have to get rid of is Tim Connolly, because I don't want him on my team, and his value is so low. Oh, hold on. Washington will take him. Washington will take him. Let's try and pick up a second for Tim Connolly, and let's try picking up. Let's try taking away a player from them. Let's try Volpatti again. Why won't this go through? What's the cap at right now? Oh, cap. Cap's a big thing right now. Winnipeg doesn't want him. Boston would take him, but their cap's too low. Chicago. There you go. Chicago, and they'll get rid of their second for him. That will go through straight up. We might even be able to get something else out of this. Let's try a third there, too. A second and a third for Connolly? We might get some value back from this. This might be one of the better trades we make. Let's see if it goes through. It does not. So let's take the third off, and we'll get a fourth. Fourth. Fifth. Nothing. Okay, it's because of Connolly, so let's see if this goes through. No, so they don't want Connolly. He may be harder to sell than stale bread. Okay, let's see here how it goes. The third. That's a problem. Connolly's value is so low. It's because of his contract. Damn you, Connolly, you suck. You have the worst contract in the league. Give me you. See if that goes through. I doubt it. Dire enough to be willing to absorb the contract of Tim Connolly. No one wants him because of that. That's a problem. So even LA couldn't give us, you know, a third round. Oh, third? Maybe. I'm not going to ask for much more. Let's try the third. And it will not go. That's how bad Tim Connolly is, guys. Let's try giving him for a seventh. Anything. No, they just don't want the salary. How bad is that? Minnesota can't take him. Montreal can't. Nashville doesn't want him anyway. The Rangers. We didn't try the Rangers. Let's try a seventh with the Rangers. And player they don't want. Gene. Here you go. Kyle Gene. Nothing. No one's going to take Tim Connolly. Okay. I don't know what this is about. Best lines. Sure. Okay, I don't know. Alright, I'm running long with this. Okay, I'm going to stop. When we come back here, guys, in the next episode, we're going to try and make some trades for some more, you know, more options. We'll see what we can do, okay, guys? That's it for this one. I'm Target Audience. You guys have a good one.